my take on it right now is like in no way, shape, or form are they getting anything resembling a smartphone until they hit at least 13.
Yeah.
Atomic Souls podcast.
I'm old enough to remember when Facebook was first getting started,
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was like
I wasn't
only
in
school,
college.
right?
I wasn't in college, so I couldn't get
exactly.
it.
Yeah. No, it was like
when I turned 18, my parents were like, "All right, you can get one now."
And I remember it was like this big social accomplishment if you got when it was like invite only. It's like I got the invite. I'm not a college student. I'm on Facebook. Versus now, they've got access to all of this social media, and like not just Facebook, but like 5 or 6 different apps that are all competing for their attention.
Very toxic.
What's your thoughts on the struggle there, though? Because this is something I think about a lot as a dad. Of like, I don't want those things negatively influencing my child, but also I don't want to put her at a disadvantage because that's the world we live in. We live in a digital world.
Yeah. I mean, my take on it right now is like in no way, shape, or form are they getting anything resembling a smartphone until they hit at least 13.
Yeah.
And the good news is that like for us, where like we've got kids that are on the younger end, we're kind of in that like perfect situation where like this stuff is now starting to get figured out. And by the time our kids are at the age of where like they would be prime targets for social media, I think hopefully it'll be a bit more resolved by then. Something where society will have gotten used to it a bit more, like knows how to navigate it.
That's a good point.
But at the same time, though, like I lean a bit more on the like, you know what? Like if I'm going to give you a phone, I'm okay with it being a flip phone, having to deal with T9 just like I did, and making that a journey that you have to follow in my footsteps on, because it's just the level of toxicity that can reach kids at such a young age now, and just create, just this constant churn of anxiety.
And it's not by accident either.
No.
True malicious intent on the other side of those screens.
Yeah. The goal is keep the user on the phone, keep them in the app.
Exactly.
And if that winds up creating a circumstance where like they have an addiction to their phone, or if they develop an anxiety disorder or depression or anything like that, well, we can explain that away with statistics and say, look how good the rest of our users are doing, though. Never mind that, like, but for the others, it's just as big of a problem.
Yeah. I think we're beyond that point. I think at this point, they're like, if this creates, anxiety and depression, well, cool, we can sell another product to them for that too.
No.
And it's pure consumerism.
Big Pharma is now big tech.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel sometimes like they're just like merging into this like just big corporate space where there's always somebody trying to sell something to counteract the thing that we were sold that we were told was going to be helping on something else.
I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day because he does a lot of pharmaceutical stuff. And I was like, I said, I don't take anything for anything because like you take a headache medicine and it says may experience anal bleeds. But if you have an anal bleed, take this other medicine, may experience headaches. So I think I'll just deal with the headache, brother.
No.
Yeah.
So many thoughts on that.
That was Tyler, by the way.
Yeah. I had a question. What was it? Kind of going into that like phone addiction stuff. You said you've had family members who have experienced addiction. Like what was that experience for you as a family member?
Yeah, so I've had 2 family members, one of an older generation, one of my generation, who've both gone through primarily alcoholism, but mix in some other substance abuse in there as well. And the older generation that was largely before my time, I'd always just kind of like heard about it. It was recognized like, oh, they've got AA meetings every so often that they go to, but it was a thing, but now it's not. Versus when the member of my generation started going through it, it was much more of a pronounced and active thing of where got firsthand experience of seeing the damage that's being done, but at the same time, though, feeling completely powerless to stop it. Because in this case, with exception of like the last couple of months before they went into active recovery, we were typically like 500 miles away. A lot of this started happening when I was in DC, and even when I moved back to Texas, they were in another part of the state at that point. And so, would get occasional updates, and then finally it crescendoed in with a car accident, and that was like, okay, like we are now at like a different stage here.
Yeah.
And so it was simultaneously one of the most difficult things I've had to go through in terms of watching my family go through that and dealing with it myself. But then also on the back end of seeing my family come together and work together to navigate that, and seeing where that person is now has really just given me so much strength in moving forward with, my own issues, which, it's nowhere near that, but that's what makes it seem that much easier. It's like they were able to overcome all of this.
Yeah.
There is zero reason I can't go through and do this now and improve myself.
Yeah.
So they're just a huge inspiration to me now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, it's interesting how, like you said, the generational differences of like back in the day, like older generations had like AA and that was it. And like rehab was like very taboo. And getting help was like, you just bootstrap it and figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, and from my perspective, I think it can vary depending on like particularly gender of where there's, for men, there is just this expectation of like, if you have a problem, you need to solve it on your own.
Yeah.
Like, and getting guys to reach out and ask for help is still it's not as high of a bar as it used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be just like, no, the expectation was like, you did not ask for help unless it was like essential.
Yeah.
And even then you would still resist it. But it's still high up there where it's like, you got to overcome a lot before you can say, like, I need help. I need somebody to lift me up through this.
Yeah. I do feel like that is a strong component of American culture is very much like, figure it out on yourself, dude.
Which, in one case, it's great. I mean, you've got so many people in this country that are creating all these amazing things.
Yeah.
Like, find me another spot in the world where, you can have somebody start with nothing.
Yeah.
And build themselves up into, the next Mark Zuckerberg or something like that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, it's you don't get help on that, and you're not going to get help when you are really struggling. And I think we've lost some of the community elements that would have helped fill in the gaps in that in the past. And I think, particularly for young men right now, but just younger generations in general, I think that leaves a lot of them feeling isolated and getting back to social media, it brings it back to where that's their outlet. That's where they feel like they can get help and support, and it actually just winds up doubling down the problems.
Yeah. I do think social media plays a big part in that, because it's, whether it's using it to the positive of like, like bootstrap, like, like make your life better. Like you can do that. Like America's very like innovative in that way, but then it's also very isolating. Like I remember starting our company, I had to listen to music that was like, do it myself. Like, I'm going to like, get it, figure it out and like rely on myself. But at the same time, I needed community and I was like starving for that. And so it's like, finding that balance in life in general. And like, as you're like using that like independence and like motivation, to grow something, it's also important to find community that can like hold you accountable. And like, a lot of people are, coping with life by drinking or using drugs. And so if you don't have that community, it can just increase that so much more.